Martin Hayes. Grew up over in Rusk County. My family moved to town when I was young. My mother, Nancy, ran the old Bodie Hotel down at the Junction. If y'all are familiar with Longview, in the early days, there was two places the train stopped. Downtown at the station there, and then there was a station out where the one is now, and that was what they called the Junction. My mother got to rule over some unruly railroad people back in the day, and everybody said that must have been where I got the idea that I wanted to be in law enforcement. It's certainly a good start. Got married in 1908 to my bride, Clara, here. We had one son, Hollis. He only lived to be a year old. But we had a lot of happiness in our lives because our niece, Pauline Wood, came into our lives a few years later and lived with us. She was there for a long time, and then married an old boy named Bob Cargill. And they had a profound influence on Longview over the next few years. I got myself elected first, I guess you might say, as city marshal. That was way back there in 1910. City marshal also made me district clerk, and gee, I got to run the sanitation department too. So it's kind of an all-encompassing job. Not a whole lot going on back then, what have you, though. I kind of got the reputation as a person that didn't wear a gun on the job. Really didn't need to back then. Wasn't a whole lot going on. Not that I didn't know how to use one. Had a fellow named Gwen. Had a little dispute with about 1922 in January. He came to town gunning for me. Well, just like the old westerns, high noon downtown, we met. He shot at me, I shot at him. He missed, I didn't. Now, he survived. Things were okay after that. Wasn't long, 1924, I decided, well, I was gonna run for sheriff. That was my first of 4 elections. Won every one of them, what have you. I was sheriff here from 24 all the way through 32. Like I say, it was a quiet, rural town. Not a whole lot going on. People growing cotton and corn. Just a real rural farming type setup. Railroads kind of kept things busy around here, you know, and sometimes we'd have a little row with some of the railroad people. It'd get kind of rowdy, but nothing major. And lo and behold, 1930, 31, they found oil. And it seemed like the whole world descended on Gregg County. We had everything here, drillers and roustabouts and surveyors, and didn't know there could be that many geologists in the whole world, but they were all here. Got kind of busy. All sorts of ne'er-do-well people came here and made life a little tough, what have you, in those years. People aiming to make a buck, maybe at somebody else's expense. But it was a good life here, real good life. Things changed right there at 30, 31. Don't know if any of y'all were back there during that time, but I was there and I got to see it change. And about 32, I decided, well, I wasn't gonna run for sheriff anymore. By then, I'd kind of got to dabbling in the oil business. Didn't retire from public life. I went on, served on the city council after that. During World War II, I was on the draft board. But those years, oil boom, we saw it all. We certainly did. Thank y'all for stopping off today. Enjoy the rest of your tour.